The Mississippi River Basin, almost 3 million square kilometers of land covered in dense forest, deep lakes, and impassable swamps. A truly beautiful place. Although you always need to be careful there, especially if you want to go for a swim, because lurking beneath the water is it. You're watching Animal Time, and today, by popular demand, we're going to tell you about the alligator snapping turtle. Don't forget to rate this ancient beauty and subscribe to the channel. So, let's get started. Meet. This is the alligator snapping turtle, and it looks, to put it mildly, a bit creepy. It feels as though this creature's been teleported to our time straight from the age of the dinosaurs, as its huge hooked beak and shell with sharp spikes seems to hint at the reptile's rather ferocious nature. However, it belongs to the caiman family, which explains it all. You've seen the video about its younger brother, the common alligator snapping turtle, haven't you? No? Then be sure to have a look. The alligator snapping turtle is the largest not only within its own family, but also among all freshwater turtles. They can reach a body length of over 59 inches and weigh more than 220 pounds. However, the average weight of these reptiles ranges from 132 to 198 pounds, which is still quite substantial. The first thing that catches the eye is its enormous head, which is covered in spines and ends in a powerful beak with large serrations at the tip. This is precisely why it's called the snapping turtle. The alligator snapping turtle, on the other hand, gets its name from its shell, which usually features 3 rows of large spikes that closely resemble the skin of a dangerous reptile. The image of this ancient predator is completed by strong legs with powerful claws and a long tail, which can reach 12 inches. Its mouth deserves a special mention. Not only is it equipped with a sharp chitinous beak, but it's also powered by incredibly strong neck muscles, turning it into a veritable hydraulic vice. Look what it does to a pineapple. And it doesn't stand a chance against a watermelon either. This tortoise can easily split a hard pumpkin in two, and that's hardly surprising as the biting force of such jaws can reach 1,212 pounds per square inch. So it has absolutely no trouble with smaller fruits such as oranges or apples. Nor with refreshing drinks. But I wouldn't risk giving her a phone. Especially my own. As you can see, this tortoise has plenty of strength, so our old friend simply couldn't pass this reptile by. However, even the coyote was put off by its appearance, and it was initially decided to test its jaws on a turkey. Look how deep it sank its sharp jaws. And even as he tried to pull the prey from its jaws, the tortoise kept squeezing them. This is what happens to the turkey's thigh after just one bite. But even that didn't stop the coyote. Admittedly, it reinforced its hand with bamboo sticks and wrapped it in a bandage so as not to lose a piece of meat. What can one say? The pressure was so intense that the bamboo sticks nearly snapped. What's more, with one of its bites, the turtle drove its sharp beak straight into his forearm, bypassing the protection, and it left marks like these on his arm. So never try to repeat this, especially as this is a rather small alligator snapping turtle. But to be fair, it's worth saying that these giants, despite their powerful jaws, are considered quite calm. They don't attack first, but merely warn by demonstrating their strength. For example, you can bring your hand quite close to an alligator snapping turtle, which is more than can be said for a common snapping turtle. The younger brother will instantly open its mouth and try to grab the intruder, whilst the older one usually confines itself to baring its jaws. although it can spray a foul-smelling liquid stored in its bladders, which is quite effective at deterring the curious. That is why this calm monster prefers to hunt from ambush. And it's very easy for it to hide, as its coloring blends perfectly with the riverbed. Moreover, the shape of its shell allows algae to take root easily, making the alligator snapping turtle even more invisible. That is when it puts its bait to use. If you watch the alligator snapping turtle hunting, from a distance it looks as though a tiny worm is crawling across a huge rock. Fish, of course, are attracted by such easy prey and swim over to have a bite. But in the end, the fish itself becomes the snack. The inside of the turtle's mouth is also dark in color, allowing the hunter to blend in with the seabed. It is a veritable living rock. And if the fish isn't going to swim into its mouth of its own accord, the neck can also be used. It is, of course, not as long or flexible as that of a caiman turtle, but it can still snap out when necessary. That is why this method of hunting is so effective, especially in an aquarium. After all, the turtle can stay underwater for up to 40 minutes and does not need to surface frequently to breathe. Young turtles are a different matter. They need to breathe more frequently, so they rarely venture deep. But luck is on these little ones' side too, as they are skilled fishermen from the moment they're born. Incidentally, it is very difficult to spot small turtles in the water, and even when caught, they remain practically motionless. You might even think this turtle has died, but no, it is alive. Apart from fish, alligator snapping turtles happily eat crustaceans, as they're not particularly fast. They do not turn their noses up at carrion either, acting as excellent marsh scavengers. And sometimes they may give chase to a fish and even catch up with it. Admittedly, all this takes place in a closed aquarium, but the turtle is very active. There have even been times when this underwater monster managed to attack the bait and climb out of the water, much to the surprise of the local fishermen.
Oh my gosh, buddy. Oh my gosh.
And on land too, you shouldn't get too close to the turtle, as it moves about quite nimbly despite its weight. And if necessary, it can do this. But despite such defenses, things are not going well for the hawksbill turtle. This is primarily due to poachers, as its meat is considered a delicacy, meaning there will be demand for it despite the bans. The situation is exacerbated by slow production, as these reptiles can live for over 100 years and only begin to reproduce in their 13th year. Moreover, out of a clutch of 20 to 30 eggs, only one hatchling survives to reproductive age. We can only hope that living alongside humans won't prove fatal for such an amazing and uniquely beautiful turtle. This formidable hunter lurks in the lakes and marshes of North America. I hope you found this interesting and learned something new about this ancient creature. If so, please do take a moment to rate it. Let me know in the comments which animal you'd like me to feature next. Subscribe to the channel and don't forget to turn on notifications. And that's all from me for now. Not for long. Bye for now.